about mental health, it's really important that we look at the foundations. Now, I'm going to give you some really important tools for improving mental health that are really related to the nervous system. But before we start trying to regulate our nervous system or do any extreme things for our mental health, we kind of have to start with the foundation. And when I say foundations, I'm really talking about what I call the 6 pillars of self-care. And so if you're looking, how can I start today to improve my mental health? My suggestion will always be start here. Start with one of these 6 things today, right? And I'm going to give you tools for all of that. And so, really, the first thing is a sleep routine, right? So often we hear this all the time. You need to get adequate sleep. You need to have a good sleep hygiene, or we do all these different things to kind of work with our sleep. But the sleep is such an important part of the science they have found for basic mental health. And this is same true for stress management, right? Is that really our sleep routine is key. So if you want to start anywhere, start with the sleep routine. And ideally, according to the science and all the research that has been done on it, ideally you want to roughly go to bed at the same time every night and wake up at the same time every morning. I know that's really hard, but you want to keep that kind of within a 2-hour window. So let's say your ideal bedtime is 10 p.m. You want to be able to always go to sleep between 9 and 11, even on weekends. I know. And in the morning, let's say your ideal time is 6:30 or 7 a.m. that you want to get up. You want to also have a 2-hour window in that time frame. Now, the more consistent you are, the more your body attunes and regulates to that sleep routine. The more inconsistent you are, then the harder it is to get to sleep when you want to or wake up when you want to. And so this sleep hygiene is very, very important. I've done a lot of research working with clients, like thousands of clients over the years. And always when we look at all the factors and all the things that they can shift and change, sleep is has the most impact. So I really suggest if you want to start somewhere, you can start with your sleep routine. And of course, there are some, basics around that. You want to turn off electronics like an hour before you're going to go to bed. You want to make sure that you are doing something relaxing, that you are moving into sleep, maybe an hour before bed. And so this will all help in terms of your mental health and will help in terms of your stress management. And the next kind of pillar is what we call sunlight and dark. So, again, these foundations are something we've been taught a lot, but it's absolutely backed by so much science and so much research. And so sunlight and dark is about being able to, trigger your nervous system, trigger your biology to recognize that it's time to wake up and trigger it to recognize that it's time to go to bed, right? So this is all about your biorhythms. And so first thing in the morning, ideally you want to be able to go view the sun with your eyes, right? So not behind a glass. You can wear corrective glasses or lenses, but you want to be able to view the sun for just a couple of minutes to be able to stimulate the body to wake up. Now, you can get sunlight during the day several times, and that's really, really helpful. But the most important thing is in the morning. And then they found a lot of research, which is pretty recent, that you want complete darkness 6 to 8 hours every night. So that's like wearing a sleep mask, taking all lights from your room, right? So no lights, no phone lights, no things that plug in and have little blue lights, no TV lights, right? So you really want to have that 6 to 8 hours of darkness that will, again, trigger the body to sleep. And so this helps with your sleep routine. It helps with your mental health. And, we've seen that a lot. If people who live in areas where they can't get a lot of sunlight, they can really suffer, right? And so oftentimes there's therapy lamps and there's all kinds of stuff you can do if you're living in an area where you don't have access to sunlight in the morning or not very much access to sunlight. There are definitely like light therapy lamps that you can get in order to stimulate that sunlight. But again, these are really important for kind of those foundational pieces of our mental health. And so the next thing, of course, is good nutrition. Now, I'm not going to tell you what you should eat for your body because there is no one right diet. You want to eat foods that make you feel good and clean. And oftentimes we have a really intuitive understanding of what that is, right? So you want things that give you energy, not things that make you feel tired or heavy. One of the really important things with stress management as well is you want to try to level out your blood sugar throughout the day. So you want to eat like multiple meals, like 6 meals a day, something that will kind of help with the blood sugar. You want to be able to have a balance between fats, carbs, and, proteins, and there's a lot of different variations in diets and research that you can do. But the bottom line is you want to be able to have good nutrition that feels good to your body, that stimulates energy, and you want to be able to kind of level out that blood sugar. If you're drinking coffee, then you want to be able to, again, not have this spike in adrenaline that then, produces a crash. You want to level that out by eating with your coffee or by having cream with your coffee, right? So something that helps level out that adrenaline rush. So this is a really important thing, good nutrition, being able to feed our bodies what it needs is really helpful in terms of our mental health. So you're kind of seeing this pattern that our physical health, right, and how we feel on a physical level is very congruent and connected to our mental health as well, and also our stress management. And so the fourth pillar is really about daily movement. And this is not, I'm going to go out for a run every day. If you love running and you want to go out for a run every day, fantastic. This will help and improve your mental health. But if you're not a runner, you can do very gentle movement and actually have the same, if not more, impact on your mental health. And so that could be stretching every day. Right. That could be taking a very light walk. That could be walking your dog, right? It doesn't have to be this extreme movement, just daily movement that's mindful, that feels good to your body, that you enjoy will have like super improvements on your mental health. So, daily movement is really key. And then the fifth one we're going to talk about way more extensively throughout today. And this is you want to minimize and manage stress. So, stress really impacts our physical health, our mental health, our emotional health, our relationships. Stress is a huge factor in so many things. And so, you want to be able to, minimize and prioritize managing your stress. And I'm going to give you some tools for that. And then the last thing is you want to manage social connections. So, as humans, we're social beings, right? And so, the social connections that we have are actually really important. And so, this is, part of, creating really powerful social connections, people you can trust, people you can talk to, people that feel good being around. But part of managing social connections is also reducing or eliminating connections that produce stress for you, right? So, anyone who is very difficult to be around, anyone who dysregulates your nervous system, which we're going to talk about in a minute, anyone who causes you to just not feel good when you're near them, you want to try to minimize the social interaction with them. Now, of course, we can't get rid of family members or maybe people that we work with. You can't just kind of, run away from the environments that you're in, but you can make choices that will minimize direct connection with them. And you can also surround yourself with more empowering people or people that make you feel really good. And this is also a really important part of mental health. So these foundations, these kind of 6 foundations is a great place to start when you're looking to improve your mental health. And we're going to talk about some other things in just a minute.